Hi, my name is Emily Trow. It will probably say Emily Warren when I upload this just because I got married last year in December and I haven't changed my name in the government, but in the church it's Emily Trow. I have two parents that have been married for, I'd say, about 27 years. About that time. I have two older siblings, an older brother and an older sister, and a younger brother. Both of my older siblings are married and have kids. My older brother has two kids, a girl and a boy, and my older sister has one kid, a baby girl. And my younger brother is in Colorado serving his mission. A little bit about how I met my husband. His name is Russell. I served a mission in Panama for about 6 months, and because of COVID, I came home. And while I was home, I met my husband. I also am from Sacramento, California, and I have just lived there ever since I came home from my mission. But I came home, we met, and then I went back out to finish my mission in Tampa, Florida. And while I was there, he wrote me, and when I came home, we got married 8 months later. My vision for a marriage is kind of just, I want a realistic marriage. I want a marriage with open communication. I want to be able to talk about goofy things, to joke with one another, but I also want to be able to be serious and talk about spiritual matters. I also want to have a marriage where we both serve each other. I've heard just about how, we know that to be like Jesus Christ, we should serve one another, we should serve our neighbors, and I think that's what a marriage should be like. You should serve each other, you should want to serve each other, but also at the same time, I know that there will be times where I don't want to serve my husband, but I just need to do it anyways. That's kind of one of the marital myths, is just thinking that everything's going to be perfect and that you're going to always want to serve your husband or do certain things for him. But in reality, I know that there will be times where I just don't want to do that. I also want a marriage where we put in 100% effort each, not just 50-50. That's another marital myth, is where you guys just put in 50% effort, like half the effort that you could be putting in, because that adds up to 100, when in reality both spouses need to be putting in 100% effort. I also want a marriage where we problem resolve, because I know that we are gonna have problems. I had problems growing up with my siblings. I lived with them 24/7, and that's what you're doing with your spouse. Obviously, you and your spouse are gonna have problems. There are gonna be things that conflict with each other. And so I want a marriage where, like I said, we can be open with each other, but also kind when problem resolving. Another marital myth is you can just be open with your spouse at all things, tell them everything, but they're human. We are all human. We all take offense to different topics or subjects. And so I think going into marriage, you need to be humble, and I want a humble marriage. I don't want a perfect marriage. I want a marriage that's gonna last me forever. I want to be with this person for the rest of my life and the lives to come. And so I think the biggest weakness going into marriage is understanding that neither of us are perfect, and there's always going to be something, but just choosing to work through that. And that's what I loved about our studies, is just reading about love isn't just about feelings, it's also about commitment and choosing to move forward and working through different issues and problems that will arise, and trusting each other and having boundaries. I want a marriage with boundaries, and I want a marriage where I can trust my spouse. Obviously, goes back to boundaries. There are certain situations you just shouldn't put yourself in, like don't be with another woman or flirt with another person. But that's the vision